Coach, what have you kind of seen from some of the young guys like Gerby and Styles, just with an increased workload this spring?
Yeah, I think from those two guys especially, and you saw it like during Styles you didn't get to see as much of because he was battling through injury. But like seeing him out here and seeing him move around, does some really good things, shows some really good twitch. It's just about like learning it, being more consistent. But his ability to kind of flash is there. So I'm excited about what I see out of him. And then Gerby, I had a ton of confidence at the end of the year last year. Like if we needed him, like being able to go in there and not miss a beat. And he came out and he's working that way through the spring. Like he's been great. So working him at both sides and giving him as many opportunities as we can to get him on the field.
And then with Cam Herron, what stood out to him throughout his process? He came up to camp, worked out with you and everything. Despite his size, what made you comfortable taking him and recruiting him?
Yeah, Cam, like I put a lot of stock in what I see on film and then getting to know the person next. You know, like there's the film that makes you like someone, and then there's the person and who they are that makes you know if they're a fit here at Notre Dame or not. And he had that. And then when he came to camp here, he competed at an extremely high level. Like I think camp eval is the best thing you can have, and yeah, he's got very unique features where that most people don't have in a skill set for him, and he's just, I think, going to be a really good fit, and he's doing well so far. So keep it rolling.
What allowed a guy like Charles to be able to instantly get back in there after obviously not playing it? Not the easiest time of year to get back in there when he started playing again in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think Charles would be the first person to tell you this. Like, it wasn't instant. You know what I mean? Like, it took a long journey to kind of get there. And the journey started, I think, with good communication right after the injury. Like, the first thing you do is you're kind of down, right? Like, it happens in fall camp. You have all these expectations. And the first things we hit them with is, okay, what can you control now? You know, and you get through the surgery, and it's like, okay, what can I control now? And so Coach Lando and the weight room crew and everyone kept giving him a picture that, hey, if we play and we keep playing, there's a chance you could get back at an opportune time. So he started to practice, and he got a couple weeks of practice under his belt. And then all of a sudden we needed him that third week that he had been practicing. Like the first week, limited. Second week, a little bit more. Third week, he was pretty much doing everything in a backup role, and boom, he was able to step in that Penn State game and gave us a little spark.
And now that he's full go, back to being himself, how much better can he grow into a player for you for next season?
Yeah, I think that's just it. I have tremendous expectations for Charles as he has for himself, and I think like you get into spring ball and you're a practice 4, you know what I mean? Like it takes a long journey to even get back to the best you, like where you left off in the fall. So he's getting there and he's doing really, really well. Smart, like what he's bringing to the play from an understanding standpoint is outstanding, and so like I'm excited. We'll have a really good spring with him.
Joe, how do you feel like he played when he finally got thrown in down the stretch, and how much better off is he now for having gotten that opportunity?
Yeah, I think it's huge, right? I think it's huge for everyone, like not just in the O-line. I think it's huge as a team when you see like, okay, how do you face adversity? Like, what do? You know, you just go to work, right? You just prepare each day for when your opportunity comes back. And when he jumped in, like I said, when he jumped in the Penn State game, like he wasn't perfect in the game, but he gave us a spark. Like he got some great movement, and you know, he was excited for the opportunity. Next thing you know, he's got to play the next week at a different position, and he goes in and battles in Ohio State. So I was real proud of him.
You know, what are you like hoping to see from this offensive line? You know, as blue and gold game only a few weeks away.
Yeah, I want to see these guys. You know, like there's some different timing on guys getting back, some things that each guy's working through. You know, I don't know if we'll have the whole group on the field this spring, but we'll have some major pieces. And the key is that they learn how to play together. They learn how to like complement one another. They learn how to like, listen, I got to get my job done in a physical manner. I got to be consistent doing it. But we got to do it together. There's no guy out there on his own, and I think when they learn that and that understanding, it's transferable, and they go from getting it right to never getting it wrong, and that's the battle.
Really quick. Yeah, given the pieces that you're bringing back across the board on the line and the experience that they have, what's the ceiling for this group, do you think, as a college offensive line?
I think anytime, I mean, you're at Notre Dame, like every every season you're looking to be the best in the country. Like that's your goal. Like that's it. Like that's the goal. And the first thing you want to do is you want to maximize your full potential. And we believe in doing that. And we believe that the last year as well and the year before that you could be the best in the country. And in doing so, you got to do it in a way where you make those 11 guys on the field on offense special, right? You got to do it where we got to do it together. And so we'll do it in that way, right? We'll make each other better and make the guys around us better. And that's got to be the heartbeat.
Coach, what have kind of been your first impressions of Jared Dawson and Elijah Hughes so far?
Very pleased with what they're doing, who they are as players, the maturity, experience is showing, and then their eagerness to learn. I think part of the challenge of college football when you do, get transfers in, is their willingness to adopt the new culture, the new techniques, the new calls, terminology, all of that. So they've been fantastic. They want to be really good. So it's easy to coach in that sense. So very pleased with how they started.
And then with Aamil, it seemed like he was close to cracking in last year. What's he got to do this spring?
He's doing it, man. He's becoming more of a leader, but just all the little things are starting to click. And I'm very pleased with him, man. He's done a hell of a job these first however many practices. But I think he's on the right track. So, I'm excited. I have high expectations for him.
Bryce Young got to play a lot last year.
Yeah.
He's obviously very talented. In your mind, what's kind of next in his progression to being a great defensive end?
Yeah, just the details. I got to check myself sometimes. He's a true freshman. He's still a freshman. He doesn't look like it and doesn't act like it. He's very mature, but in the same breath, experiences in the details, like the basic things. And he's working like a dog at trying to get mastery of those things. But that'll come. He's been fantastic. Very special kid, all the way, all inside and out, all the way around.
Your position group obviously had a lot of adversity last year with injuries, but as a result, guys got to play. How much farther ahead do you feel like you might be now because of that?
Yeah, I just think the level of confidence that I have as a coach and the guys in the room is really high, and I think their confidence is very high. I think adversity reveals really where you're at, and the advantage we had from going through that was you can always fall back on, and you have a tough moment now, you fall back on it and know that, you can overcome or you can elevate, so to speak. So, yeah, I got a high level of confidence. I'm excited. I love the group. Like, I think the other part of that is you get close. You know what I mean? You get really, really close, like in terms of, strengthening that bond, which is really important. So I love coaching the group, man. And we go at it pretty good, so it's been good.
What's the hunger level for a guy like Jordan Botelho, who obviously had his season taken away last year early, and then now obviously eager to get back out there?
Yeah, he's always been driven. His hunger has always been high, but I think now he decided to come back. This is his last, run at college football, and so he's putting everything he has into it. He's doing it now. He's doing a great job in terms of what he's able to do, but his leadership has been phenomenal for the guys as well. So I know he's competitive. He's eager to get back out there, and when the time comes, we're going to drop that leash and let him go be Jordan in an attack. So I'm excited to get him back, but he's been great.
Is that hard, keeping the leash on him?
Yeah, it is. It's hard keeping all of them because, there's a fine line, right? You want to coach them to that edge. You don't want a passive group. So I like a little friction. I like a little bit, but that's what you love, I love to have to hold up. Today he's like, hey, can I do this? I'm like, no, get away from me. Because I'll be like, yeah, go do it. And I say, we got to be smart about it. That's what you want, man. That's what good players, that's how usually good players are.
Got one more.
Defensive line was so effective last season, How do you kind of refine that group going now into a new season? I
think that's a great question. And I think the mindset all really high achievers have is obviously you acknowledge the good, but you really drill down and attack the things you can do better. And so that's our focus. You look at last year, we had a lot of good moments, but man, we could be much better. And I think my goal as a coach, I know our goal as a unit is to not leave anything on the table. If the reps you have, the opportunities you have, you want to maximize every one of them. And so that's our focus. And so we're already in the process of trying to fill those gaps, so to speak.
How's things going?
It's going great so far. A lot of just learning to do right now. After a long season, it's good to kind of be back in the fold and just be with your brothers again and just compete in football.
Obviously, a lot of transition on the offensive line in terms of just some guys are practicing, some guys aren't? What are you seeing from the younger guys and what they've been able to do early on as they get some opportunities?
It's really their ability to step up and compete. Like all the young guys, they came in fresh. Most of them came in early just to be able to practice this before the bowl games, but just the ability to come in there, like learn the playbook, step up, and be able to compete with our ones and twos. So I'm really proud of the guys, the work they put in, and the consistent learning they're doing.
Aamil, if you take yourself back a year from now, can you just kind of put in words how much you think you've grown and how much you've learned from where you were a year ago, and how much more prepared you feel to just be a mainstay on that line now?
Really, it came with just game reps. I think the ability to be on the field and compete. Obviously, practicing one thing, you get a lot better. You improve small things day in and day out. But getting the opportunity to be on the field, experience it when it's true win or lose, your competition, life or death, win or loss. And so I just think the ability to have those reps over 1,000 a season and just be able to hone my skills really helped me confident this time around to be able to, hey, I've seen this on the field. I can coach it better. I can be able to translate it better, communicate it better. So this was a lot better this spring, just be able to have that knowledge and that experience going into practice.
Does having the kind of success that you guys had last fall raise expectations for yourselves?
Definitely. That's the foundation. Obviously, we can't rest on our laurels. We had a great season, but it's a new team, it's a new O-line, new offense, and so we got to be able to build up and use that last season as motivation. Obviously, it didn't end how we wanted to. We want to be a better result, and so to be able to just use that as motivation and keep climbing the mountaintop.
It's like a guy like Charles able to get right back in there and play like the way he was able to do in that playoff run when he missed so much time.
It's a testimony to the work he puts in outside of football. Every day, whether it's extra list, Coach Landau, learning the playbook, being attending meetings, Charles was always locked in. And so the 10, 12 weeks where he was sat dormant, recovering, getting stronger, he truly took it to heart. And so it showed in him being able to step in right away and being effective, not just be a lineman that's serviceable, but be an effective lineman. So it really just shows his dedication, how much he loves the game, how much he loves his teammates.
So what's kind of your mindset during this spring, and I guess where does Coach Rudolph have you working at right now?
Right now I'm working at all three inside spots. I snapped the ball for the first time about a month ago, and now I'm playing a lot of center, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I feel like my body's adjusted really well, got it to where I want it to be in the off season, and I feel like that's really noticeable. These past 4 practices, just lower body strength, core strength has helped me. It's really helped me transition to the inside well. So.
And then, what is the challenge of learning how to snap and all that comes with playing center?
Yeah, well, the hardest part of center is snap the ball, in my opinion. But no, I'll come out here with the quarterbacks on the weekends and snap with them while they're doing 7-on-7. I always try to get a couple extra snaps before and after practice. It's really just getting to where my body's in a consistent position every time, and I can just continue to replicate that going forward.
And to clarify, you never snapped in high school as a kid or anything like that?
No. Coach Rudolph pulls me into his office about a month and a half ago, and he's like, "You ever thought about playing center?" And I was like, "I've never thought about snapping a football, Coach." But here we are now, and I'm loving it, and I'm having fun, so it's good.
What was the first 5 snaps like?
Oh, goodness. I think it was just Coach Rudolph out here with the centers on like a weekday afternoon, and I started off, and I don't think I got it within 5 feet of his frame with like my first dozen tries. And then he's like, "Why don't you try dead ball?" And so I switched to dead ball snapping, and that's worked out a little better. I'm a little more consistent there. So yeah.
What kind of gains did you make this offseason? I know it was a short offseason, but do you feel like you mentioned your core, but do you feel stronger, bigger, more prepared?
I definitely feel like I'm playing a lot bigger. I feel like my base is staying away from getting narrow at points. I feel a lot more solid into the ground, core strength, leg strength, upper body strength as well. I just feel more rooted, cored up into the ground, more powerful, and then that's a credit to Lando and his staff and our nutrition staff, and I think we had a great off season as far as like body composition for most guys go.
What did you learn watching last year and watching what that line was able to do up front?
Yeah, I learned that belief is half the battle. As long as you believe you can do something and put your mind to it, then you're going to be pretty hard to stop. If you've got that intent, and if you've got that mindset that you're going to move this guy from point A to point B, then it's going to take a whole lot to try to stop that. So.
Charles, what allowed you at the end of last year to get right back in there and have a lot of contributions in the biggest games of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I really think it's just a combination of like everybody in the program, like the strength coaches kind of pushing me to work different parts of my body, get stronger with my lower body while I'm working on rehabbing my shoulder, the training staff getting me healthy, the coaches giving me reps like at that time of the year. But I think it was everybody really just played into it, and then kind of just that vision that I had at the start of the year was like, okay, I might have gotten hurt, but I want to be able to contribute at the end of the year. So it's just a lot of work.
What was that experience like when you were in there for the Penn State game and it's your first reps of the year in a 5-game action, and obviously everyone else has played in 15 games? What's that kind of adjustment period like?
First drive was it was a little bit interesting, just kind of not really knowing that you're going out there. But I feel like after that, I really kind of calmed down and the game started moving a little bit slower. I was able to see things a little bit better. So, I mean, as a whole, I'd say it was a great experience for me just to be able to feel that confidence in a game that's that big.
Charles, what were the emotions like for you late in the year? Because I'm sure for much of the year you figured probably just not going to get a chance to play this year, and then not only do you get to play, but in games of that magnitude.
Yeah, I was just grateful. It was nice to have that opportunity to kind of come back at the last couple games and try to help out the team, because they've been working the whole year and they did everything to get us there. So for me, it was just like being able to add something to that kind of memory. It was great for me.
You had a lot of practice reps in this program. You haven't had a ton of game reps between your age and the injury. How much better off do you feel today because you were able to play in a couple games late last year?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's just more things that I can add to more takeaways that I have when I'm just thinking like, how am I going to be confident going into next year, and what are the things I know I can do well and the things that I need to work on still. So for me, it was great to have more kind of baseline data points where you see like, okay, this is where I'm at and this is what I need to get better at.
What do you feel like you do really well right now? Like, what's your strength as a lineman, you feel like?
I'd say I have really good natural power. I'm athletic, but I have to keep working on some of the pass pro stuff, some of the different run game techniques, making sure I'm just having a plan every play is really my biggest thing. Just making sure I'm locked in on those details pre-snap and kind of just continuing to improve.
Do you feel more comfortable at tackle or guard, or do you have a preference?
I really don't care. I'll play whatever I can do to play.
And then what's the key to being an effective puller at guard?
Running hard and hitting people. That's about it. You can't be afraid to get hurt or something. You just got to go and get low and try to run through people.
Bryce, I know we've asked you this before, but how much confidence did you get just going through what you went through last year and getting all those reps?
I got tons of confidence, just going through the process every day, just making sure I'm learning, getting better every day. I think reps are super important in making sure I'm getting better. So I think for me, it's important to take every rep like it's my last rep. So yeah, I think that's helped me a lot.
And then you and Gerby are probably going to have several reps against each other over the next couple of years. What does he do well right now?
Gerby, great. He's super flexible. Like, he's able to get down in his stance and just burst out, which is like crazy for him. Like, one of the most flexible guys I've seen. So that helps him a lot. He's got a really strong base in his pass rush. He's super quick and twitchy. So I think going against him has helped me a lot, just getting better, working my stuff, so that when the season comes, we're going against the best in the country. I've already seen it.
What's the point of emphasis that you're working on for yourself? Obviously, hey, I was able to do this and this, but I got to get better at, this and this.
I would definitely say my consistency in my run game. Just building off of my effort, making sure that I have a consistent anchor. That comes with gaining more weight in the offseason, working with Coach Lando, making sure I can get my numbers up so that I have stronger base and all that. So it starts in the offseason, nutrition, all that. And then just pass rush, having clarity in my pass rush so that when time comes, I can just do what I want to do.
Does your, going back to the confidence thing, does your success on special teams help then in those areas to know, hey, this can translate?
For sure. Just knowing that I can apply that same process that helped me have success on special teams, because it's just making sure making sure you're taking everything in, making sure you're processing information, all that, so I can apply that to defense and make sure that I'm doing what I need to do.
Bryce, how does the success that you guys had last year as a team impact maybe the way you look towards the future and maybe your expectations?
For me, I think last year was last year. Like, it was a great year. I had a lot of fun, but that was last year. So I think the biggest focus is not getting too caught up on what we accomplished last year, because I know how much work it took to put into that year last year. So just making sure I'm taking that same amount of work that we put in last year and put it into this year. And, yeah.
And you're still a relatively young guy on this roster, but you played enough last year that you had a lot of experience. Do you feel like you're starting to become a leader and like a guy that needs to be counted on a regular basis?
I think that I've been able to grow into that position. Yeah, it's definitely been fun to see the mid-years, talking to them and having the chance to lead them. Even though I'm still a young guy technically, but I can lead in smaller groups. So that's been really fun to learn how to do and just growing my leadership capabilities.
All right, Bryce, go get you upstairs.
Can I ask just one real
Quick one.
Just have you ever had the chance to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame and see your dad's bust and everything in the exhibit there?
Yeah, yes, ma'am, I have. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I won't lie, but yeah.
What are your thoughts on your dad and his career and to be a Pro Hall of Famer?
My dad is a big part of our life, so it's just awesome to see that I have that as a resource, a Hall of Fame resource. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
Logan, you worked your way into some snaps last year. How valuable were those for you just heading into the spring?
They were super valuable, just first college snaps and in some pretty big time games too, just helped me get my confidence up and, just show me that it's still the same game at the end of the day.
And then you and Bryce kind of made a name for yourselves on kickoff. I guess, how fun was that last year? And, what did you kind of get out of that, too?
Yeah, it was super fun. It was something I took a lot of pride in. I felt like it was my way of contributing to the team last year, because I really wasn't in there that much on defense, but I was in special teams. So I just felt like I had to do my part to get that done for the team, and that was important to me.
How does success on special teams, how can that help give confidence when you're on the defensive line and trying to work your way into that rotation?
Just going out there and getting game reps. Even if it's offense, defense, or special teams, at the end of the day, it's still game reps, and you're still banking that experience playing with all the crowd and all the noise. So just getting used to all that can help me just build my confidence up.
What do you see from a guy like Jordan Botelho as he tries to battle back and work back? And obviously he's an older guy that I imagine you bounce a lot of ideas off of.
Yeah, he's a great leader, as you said, battling back, but he's always working, always in the group, meeting, watching film with us, and always helping us, reach our goals as much as he's trying to reach his goals too.
Logan, does the success you guys had last year change the expectations at all, or make you think that achieving whatever you want is more realistic?
I wouldn't say it changes the expectations. The standard here is the standard, and we do it every day. We're held to it every day, so the expectations aren't changed. And we know if we reach our full potential that we can do whatever we want to do. So.
And what role do you want to have now headed into a new season?
I want to contribute on defense, being there, pass rushing, and all of that stuff. But whatever's best for the team is where I made it.
What's the latest on your knee, and I guess how much are you able to do right now?
I feel good. Each week we're doing a lot more, and I'm excited with this progression. Coach Landa got us doing some good exercises, and I look forward to every day to attacking the workout that he has for us.
And then I know it's still early in spring ball, but have any of the young guys stood out to you yet?
Yeah, Loghan Thomas, he looks quick out the edge, and you don't ever got to tell him to play physical or have any extra effort. He does that automatically. So.
Coach Washington said every once in a while you're asking him to do stuff and he's got to tell you not yet or hold back. What's that line of trying to push yourself but also realizing there's a ways to go to be fully healthy?
I got to be smart, because if I do something right now, I could hurt myself. So just listening to him and following the plan is always a good thing. So. What's
your hunger level for next season after obviously having success last year and then having it taken away?
Well, I feel like I'm really hungry, and I'm just looking forward to getting back and just attacking each day, just getting back out there with the boys and just proving myself again.
How difficult was it when you're starting to have success the way you were, and then it gets stripped away. Can you take us back to the emotions of those days?
Yeah, it was hard at first, but once Coach Freeman told me I had the opportunity to come back, you know, I was very thankful and blessed. And I knew that I just had to get back to where I wanted to be and just continue to push every day.
Do you know what your timeline is on when you will be able to be 100% full go?
Yeah, Rob Plant said I should have an unrestricted summer, so I'm looking forward to the summer to get after it, for sure.